You guys better brace for impact. It is the total collapse of the US dollar. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember, I said it's a slow burn, but it is happening. All of the cracks are there. And right now, people are putting their fingers in the dike trying to hold back the floodgates. There are so many targets on the back of the US dollar right now, and it's time to get prepared. If you're not ready, we've been warning you now for about 2 years here on this show. So you only have yourself to blame if you are not preparing right now. And today we're going to talk about multiple factors that are threatening the dollar and what you can do right now to secure your money and your future. The first major challenge the dollar is facing is its lowered position as the world's principal reserve currency. This is why the United States right now is actively involved in so many wars, threatening so many countries right now, because they need to have the US dollar as the reserve currency of the world, and they back that up with guns. That's what the United States does. We will lend our military, we will bully you to use the US dollar. That's how it works. That's how it's worked for decades since the Bretton Woods Agreement back after World War II. We will also shore up your shipping lanes. You will use the US dollar, and we will secure trade routes through the Red Sea, through the Suez Canal, all of that with our U.S. Navy. Except now, that of course has collapsed, and the U.S. Navy can't even secure shipping lanes through the Red Sea and through the Persian Gulf as a result of Houthi rebels attacking ships and cargo containers. So we can't even secure that. So the promise of security has dwindled significantly. Now, I have a whole nother video where I deep dive this topic, and I'll link it for you here. But for now, let's go over a quick overview of this. Since World War II, the United States dollar has been the world's principal reserve currency. And what this means is that institutions and central banks use the dollar for global trade for international transactions. For instance, commodities like oil, lumber, and gold are all priced in USD. And for decades, or really since the dollar's departure from the gold standard in the 1970s, the dollar has been on the decline. This move clearly marked a major devaluation of the US dollar, and it's all been downhill since then. Another big strike against the dollar is the major growth of China. China has become an absolute powerhouse. It's the world's largest exporter, and the GDP exceeds the United States GDP in terms of purchasing power. In fact, Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, I call him the President of the United States because the guy actually in the White House is not really the president. Antony Blinken just flew to China a few weeks ago to basically threaten the Chinese government, and so did Janet Yellen, saying, hey, you guys are making too much stuff and you're exporting too much stuff. Can you stop? Can you stop doing that? It's hurting us. Imagine that. So right now, the United States is being crushed, and of course, China is now the leading exporter. We'll get back to the video in a minute, but first, inflation is out of control, and you've got to protect your money. Any money you've got sitting in your bank is losing value every day, right now by about 3.5% to 4%. That's right. If you want to protect your money and you want to grow it, you need to put it to work by investing it. Now, I'm not talking about risky or volatile investments like stocks or crypto. Don't get me wrong, I like those. But tangible assets is what I'm really talking about, that you can actually put your hands on. The best tangible asset that you can invest in right now is real estate. It's the number one hedge against inflation, and it offers some of the highest and the safest returns possible. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, longtime real estate investor and founder of Morris Invest. Now, I got into real estate after learning that it was a favorite among the wealthy, and now I know exactly why. Personal experience has proven that it is the number one way to build wealth and to protect wealth. I've got decades of experience now that have proven it. Now, while there's several ways you can invest in real estate, most of which I've tried myself, the build-to-rent model offers the most benefits, hands down. More specifically, single family, buy and hold. I'm talking brand new construction built from the ground up, build to rent. Build to rent properties offer more tax benefits, fewer headaches than rehabbing an existing property. There's less risk and way less stress than flipping houses. There are a lot less work than wholesaling houses, and there's less turnover and fewer issues than multifamily properties. And when you invest in build to rent real estate, you're getting 4 streams of income. That's right, 4. Appreciation and equity gains, principal reduction, tax benefits and depreciation, and then monthly cash flow, which is my favorite. On top of that, you're using someone else's money, yes, the bank's money, to invest in real estate, while someone else, your tenant, is paying for it, paying down the mortgage. It's just one advantage that it has over tangible assets like gold and silver. I love gold and silver, but you can't buy it with the bank's money. And you certainly can't have someone else pay for it, can you? No, you can't. Plus, when you're strategic about leveraging, using the bank's money, you can get 4 to 5 times the assets that you can to invest in. And it's the only investment that gives you 4 to 5 times the protection from inflation. My company, Morris Invest, along with the help from our team at Sedera Wealth, helps you invest in build-to-rent properties as easily as investing in stocks, because we buy and we build in bulk, and then we pass our savings on to you. Now, if you'd like to learn more, let's just jump on the phone. You can share your financial goals with my team. You can ask questions, it's totally free, and we'll see if it's a good fit. Talking with us, again, completely free. No pressure, no strings attached. When we talk to you on the phone, we're going to explain a few things. Number one, how to identify a smart real estate investment. Then, what does it take to become a successful investor? And then what you need to get started, whether it's a team, good market, good property, down payment, financing, all of those things. We'll talk about it. Where to get a good strategy that actually best fits your goals and your situation. I mean, everyone is different, right? Every life situation is different. So we'll talk about that on the phone. Then we'll also talk about how to get free ongoing help. So click the link below right now to schedule a free call with my team and start protecting your money today. Of course, it's also important to mention that funding being funneled towards the invasion of Ukraine has made the dollar less attractive to other countries. The Fed itself, it actually admits this. The Federal Reserve admits this on their very own website. We also cannot overlook the massive issue of national debt, which some may argue is the biggest threat to all. Our national debt is climbing at astronomical rates, reaching an all-time high of $34 trillion back in January of 2024. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably already $35 trillion. The combination of high debt, high inflation is a lethal poison that continues to devalue the dollar month after month, month after month. And you don't have to be an economist to understand that adding $1 trillion in debt every 100 days is an unsustainable trajectory. And on top of all of these factors that have been burning behind the scenes for decades, the next thing to come is the introduction of a digital currency, a central bank digital currency, moving away from the US dollar and towards a central bank digital currency, of course, poses a multitude of risks for the American people. In fact, demoting the dollar could very well lay the groundwork for significant intrusion upon financial privacy and open the door to complete governmental control. If this sounds like the craziest thing you've ever heard, you've got to check out the full video where I go over all of the implications of a digital currency, including real examples that are already happening all across the world. This is the ultimate surveillance mechanism. And they, of course, can tell you, oh, you've spent too much money on gasoline this month, so your carbon footprint has exceeded the allotment. You cannot drive for the rest of the month. You cannot buy more gasoline. Your central bank digital currency is cut off for buying gasoline or petrol. This is already happening, folks. This is a reality. And now look at this headline. BRICS countries to stop trading in US dollar, plans to introduce new currency. Yes, the group is turning towards blockchain technology, developing a new currency system backed by gold, backed by actual commodities. Does that sound unfamiliar to you? Because the United States is not backed by gold anymore, and it is set to replace the already frail and weakening US dollar. So when you combine all of these things we talked about today, the growth of China, the advent of a digital currency, other countries stepping back from using the dollar, mounting national debt, and more, it becomes increasingly clear that there's no hope for the future of the US dollar. And because of this, of course, it's incredibly important that you need to protect yourself right now. And I know this can be overwhelming. Like maybe you've got 2 kids at home and you're working hard, right? You're a hardworking dad. You're working 45 hours a week or more, commuting, and you got 2 kids at home, and you just want to be able to provide for your family. I get it. I've got 3 kids. I work my ass off. I understand, right? I understand this can be really hard to conceptualize because most of us have never known anything but the US dollar. So where can you put your money? Well, I'm telling you right now, there's never been a better time to buy commodities, okay? Hard assets. Commodities are top-notch. Commodities are all the rage. There's a reason that people are flooding in buying copper and nickel and gold and real estate. Because when the dollar fails, commodities will increase in value. Gold just hit an all-time high. Look at copper prices. Look at nickel prices. I mean, this is what's happening right now. Land, real estate, gold, precious metals, and cryptocurrencies can offer a safe haven right now. Now, you may also want to look into foreign currencies, foreign bonds, depending on your personal situation. I've never invested in those, but you do you. I personally believe that everyone should be flocking to tangible assets right now, however you want to do it. And of course, the most important thing is to have a diversified portfolio that that can weather really any storm that comes along. So I own real estate, I own silver, I own gold, I own different other metals and commodities, I own uranium. Yeah, I own all of those things. And yes, I also own some cryptocurrency. So I have a diverse range of products that I keep in my portfolio in a range of different places. So you need to do this to protect your family. Most importantly, I want you to know that this video and this channel are not about scare tactics, okay? These things are already happening. I'm not here to scare you. I want you to be prepared, and I want you to be empowered in the face of everything that's very clearly unfolding right before our eyes. If you're one of those people that says, this is just fear-mongering, this isn't true. Yes, it is. The data is undeniable. Read it for yourself on the Fed's own website. Read it for yourself what's happening with the BRICS summit that's coming up in October. All of this is happening, and the move towards a central bank digital currency. Look about the movements right now as banks remove cash, okay? So you will not be able to use cash. You will use central bank digital currencies. That is the future. You need to be prepared. It's happening right before our eyes right now. Now, you can choose to be an ostrich and bury your head in the sand, but I don't want to see what's going to happen to your family if you do that. Please, please, please protect your family right now and educate yourself on this. Pick up a few books on it. I don't care if you watch my videos. I don't care what you do. Just do not bury your head in the sand right now. Pay attention to what's happening. I hope you found this information useful today. I also hope you'll check out this next video where I share some of the history that has led to the current state of the US dollar. Check that video out right here. And thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And we'll see you next time, everyone.